What's up?
Hey. What's the Deani John again?
The bestest.
Ghetto.
You said it's ghetto.
Hey everybody that joined. How was your weekend? It was good.
It was good. Yeah, no complaints. 3-day weekend. Off today.
What up, girl?
Mm-hmm.
I invited Riggs. What's up, cuz?
Oh, there you go. You in them bags.
What's
You
up,
know
man?
how the bags is. What's going on?
No,
Man, chilling.
chilling.
What's up? What's up? What's up? See?
No, man. Happy Father's Day to all y'all that's in here that's a father. Happy belated Father's Day. Also, a shout out to you moms that's doing y'all thing. I wasn't trying to hear that on Father's Day though, but I tell you today. You know what I'm saying?
There go.
What's going on, everybody?
Deani.
I'm about to invite her.
What's the
Yeah. Oh, she sent a request.
What? Why it always got to be something with you? And I asked you this about 3 o'clock.
I ain't got time.
It always got to be something. Put the emoji up. We that's better. That is better. That is better.
Hey,
Be quiet.
Everybody in here. Everybody in here tonight. So, we're going to get started. We starting a little bit behind. Y'all know what it is. It's the Homeboys Podcast in conjunction with Dating 101, Card Game. We got T, one of the best personal trainers in the business. Lift God, you know how it is. We got Miss Siobhan Carter, actually a publisher, a life coach, published 2 of her own books, actually. So, actually got a company that actually teach people how to publish. No, you don't teach people how to publish, but you actually publish books for them.
Yeah.
She have her own publishing company. So if y'all ever want to, it was a nice read. If y'all want to get her book, Miss Wholeness, it's actually still for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Deani, which we enjoy the emoji more than anything. One of the best event planners in the business. But she actually teach people how to actually run their own event planning business. So, of course, she's always the one person. And, of course, you got me, one of the best traveling agents around. Y'all, I'm sure y'all seen my stories, and y'all know how I do it. I enjoy traveling. That's the lifeblood.
Last time.
Huh?
I said they stayed up pool last time.
Yeah, you know how it is. So, we got some good topics this week, always. But today, we got a lot of good topics. We're going to start off with the topic that was on the post. Everybody remembers Kevin Samuels, the great late Kevin Samuels. I know people don't like that. But before he passed away, he actually had a dispute with a young lady by the name, I believe her name was B. Simone. And she felt like one of her statements was she don't believe that, he was actually a good man. So in turn, you know, somebody actually told her he's a good father though. And in her mind, she don't believe that he was a good father because he wasn't a good provider or a good husband. And she basically said, listen, if you don't respect the mother, that's basically part of being a good father. So my question is this: can somebody be considered a good husband or a good father and a bad husband, or a good mate or a bad mate, but a good father to the kids that they are with? I'm gonna start with you, Siobhan. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think you can still be a good father and a bad mate. I think how you interact with your children and how you treat your children, I think you have to have a different kind of mindset, and that will be different from how you are in a relationship. Like, you could just be bad at romance. You're not romancing your children. So yeah, I think that's possible.
Deani, do you think a person can be a
Yes.
bad husband and a good father?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? I've
Yes, why?
I've actually witnessed
Yes.
it for my own eyes. I've seen it.
Okay.
Yep.
You said a
Also
bad.
See,
but not a good man.
go ahead.
Not a good man for a woman.
Not
But
a good,
yes,
not
awesome
a
day.
good man.
Yeah, I agree with them. I feel like you could be an excellent father, and you and the mom just not staying eye to eye. As long as you don't display it in front of the kids, or as long as you try not to display it in front of the kids, you don't want to give them a bad example or whatever. But as long as you keeping that in private or whatever, and you doing your job, then I don't see why not.
You know, the strangest thing is I'm on the flip side of everybody.
Of course.
Whether it's a good father or good wife and a bad or a bad wife or bad husband and a good parent, because what I do to my mate actually affects my child. So how I respect my wife, how I respect my relationship affects my child also. Now we can always say, oh, he shows up or he provides, he makes sure I have everything. But if I come home and my wife is literally mentally drained, depressed, crying all the time, emotional, like, you know, everything, which she can't be her best person, basically that the level of respect needs to start with her also, to actually show my child, you know, how you interact with your spouse. I don't think I can be disrespectful to her mother, be abusive physically or mentally, and also turn around and think I'm a good father, especially if we're in the same household.
I didn't expect them to be together. That's why I said what I said.
Mhm.
I don't even think you
But
would
what
be with
about
somebody like that. So I said, as long as you keep it in private or whatever little problems y'all got going on, as long as the child don't see it, because I do feel like if they see that is being a bad parent and whatnot, if you want to say that, but as long as they don't see it and they don't really know nothing about it, depending on their age or whatever, then that's something y'all got to work out as adults. As long as the children taken care of, they shouldn't even know that y'all having problems for real.
And I think it depends on what the issues are. So let's say it's not abuse or it's not being cheated on, but you just not a good communicator. Like, you could still be considered a bad mate because you don't communicate, but you playing with the kids and doing all this stuff and doing all the things that you want to do with them because you're avoiding your relationship. So I think it just depends on what the issue is, where the child may not even know what's going on.
Right.
Deani?
Well, I feel like
Yeah.
let me say one other thing. I also feel like just because a man isn't ready to be a good man to a woman or a spouse or something like that does not affect their parenting skills. You know what I mean? So, and then you may not even be interested or want to be that person's man or husband or whatever, but you want to be the child's father. You know what I mean? So there's a difference. You
Yeah.
don't, your role as a
I,
father doesn't have anything to do, to me.
Yeah, I think it all depends. Like I said, if you're like Tiama said, if they wasn't in a relationship, that's one thing.
Right.
But if they are, it's a comedian that I watch, real funny, David Arnold, and he said he said he was laying in the bed, and he said one day he just up and told his wife, or I think his wife said it out loud, like, we need to get a divorce. And he was like, yes. Like he said, they just was laying silent, you know, and he said they thought the kids was going to be upset. And they said they went to the kids and they actually told the kids, like, hey, look, I'm sorry, but me and your mother getting a divorce. She said the kids high-fived, was like, I've been waiting for y'all to do that. They said, look, we can't get a divorce if our finances messed up. They said, we teamed up. He said, we teamed up. He said, just so happened, I ain't never seen nobody work so good to get out of a relationship. He said, the crazy thing about it, it brought them closer together, which actually had them stay together. But it was a good comedy show. Yeah, but they end up staying together. They actually work together. They actually seem to be doing much better now. But just to say that, to say, you know, if you're still in those relationships and you're not showing a level of respect for your mate, I think whether it's the mother or the husband, if I'm literally disrespecting you as my wife and the kids, whether they see it or not, they see how their mother is. They see how their mother feels. And they know that their father hurt them or their mother hurt their father. I just feel like that's not being a good parent. I feel like that little portion which caused problems. Yeah.
We got some comments.
What they say in the comments?
Yes. So Tushi said, a great dad and a horrible lover. Yep. Tata says, yep. Yummy says, absolutely. You can suck as a husband, mate, and an excellent dad. Big Toke said, wow, Reggie, I didn't see it that way at first. Big Tokyo says, what if it's the opposite?
Yeah, like I said, the wife.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is cases. It all depends. I guess it all depends if y'all are in the same household or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be a horrible person outside the relationship where me and you are not getting along. And I still think even at this, I should be willing to play, because if I feel like if me and Siobhan got a kid together and I feel like on F that B, I can't stand her, forget her, I can't talk to her, I can't relate to her, I can't do none of this with you, but I'm like saying I can show up to my kids' stuff. If I can't at least be cordial with you for the sake of my child well-being, that's not being a good father. That's, you know. And I understand, you know, you two at the top, neither one of y'all had kids, so y'all don't understand that, how they could be that. But of course, me and Deani understand that feeling. Okay.
So wait, what Big Tokyo? She said no, the opposite. So what do you mean, Big Tokyo, when you said the opposite?
Could you be a good husband and a bad parent?
Absolutely, you
could.
Yeah.
Could you be a good? Yeah. Could you be a wife and a horrible mother? Like, yeah. But is that? I mean do that kind of go together? Like,
I don't know. That's.
I don't think let me see. I think it could happen if, let's say, the man was really attentive. I don't know if this even exists, but let's just say the man was really attentive to his wife and neglecting his child. I don't know if that happens, but that's the only thing I can think of where it would be.
I think I've known of some situations where a guy was good as long as he was with the woman.
Yeah.
But if the woman don't want to be with him, he turns into a horrible father.
Nah, I've seen that too.
And that kind of like, you know, if you're with me, if we're going to be together, I can provide, I can do this, I can take care of my kid, this and the third. Mm-hmm. But if you're not going to be with me, then I don't want nothing to do with the child either. Yeah. You know, and that happens a lot.
What you said, Tiamo, what you said?
I was imagining the dude telling this kid, I don't even like you anyway. You was
I'm wondering if it could be that way if the child isn't his. Maybe it's more prone to happen like that if the child isn't his. I don't know. Maybe. No. I know some situations. Somebody just said wretched with it, like literally that. In multiple situations,
that were like, if you're not with me, I don't want anything to do with the child.
No,
Their
no.
own flesh and blood.
I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about
Yeah.
if he can be a good husband and a bad father if the child isn't his. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, do we consider him that though? Because if the child literally not his, he's only really doing based off of him interacting with the mother anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I
Okay.
don't know.
So
what?
I don't
He
understand
said-
what you said, Q. Like you gonna have to type it over again. It's like
what did he say? Let me see.
I got the F on.
He said he got the F on when he felt he was showing a bad example of how a man should treat a woman. So when he could no longer treat her well, he got the F on because they were arguing so much. That's what I got from it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Okay.
So he got out of the situation when he knew it was gonna show a bad example.
Yeah. Okay. So we all know that in most relationships, men do majority of the mistakes, regardless of what it is. We always feel like it's our fault, regardless.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, when I have messed up in relationships, I have actually like tried to do something. Maybe, buy flowers, buy candy. I have actually tried to do something nice. I don't know if Deani's actually on, so I'm gonna start with you, Siobhan. I'm really.
Okay.
My question is, how do women make up to their mate when they hurt them or wronged them or done something wrong? Not cheat,
not cheating or anything like that, but just
not
like,
cheat or anything like that. Like let's say I missed an important dinner date that you needed to have. Like I really just screwed up.
Yeah.
How do I really say is how do you make up to your mate? But I want to know, how do a woman make up? Because
yeah.
for the life of me, I don't think women actually do.
So it is humbling. I will say it is a humbling thing to be like, okay, I was wrong, so let me figure out. Because my first thought may be like, man, whatever, he'll be all right. But then, if I really care about the person, I got to put myself in their shoes and be like, all right, let me see. So I have like, if I know what his favorite meal is, I'll cook his favorite food and maybe leave a note to say, I really apologize. I'm sorry. I will verbally definitely say, I apologize, but just try to do something that I think he would like. So it just depends on the situation. But I have, cooked a meal and, wrote a nice note or something like that to apologize to my man.
T, how do you make up if you've done something to like, hurt or done something wrong to your mate?
I don't do nothing wrong, bro.
The lies
First of
detail.
8 times out of 10, I didn't do anything wrong. Well, I don't feel like I did anything wrong, okay?
It's
But
all their fault.
you're going to get an apology. That's it.
That's all.
That's it?
Nothing extra. You get an apology because I already don't feel like I did nothing wrong, okay? I don't feel like I did nothing wrong. I'm going to keep feeling like that. Even listen, there got to be a reason for me to have done something wrong.
So she caused this.
Thank you.
She
Yeah.
caused this.
Yes.
So
'Cause
if she wouldn't have did this, then you wouldn't have did
Because
this.
I be chilling. Somebody will start stuff with me. So, and when I respond, now I'm the bad guy. I did something wrong. Okay, if I forget a birthday or something, that's bad. If I forget a birthday, but I'm bad with birthdays though.
That's bad. Put a reminder in your
I
phone.
tell
Don't
everybody.
give it to her.
I
That's
tell
your
everybody
excuse.
though. I be like, I'm bad with birthdays. You better remind me your birthday coming that week.
No. You
I'm
put
really
it in
bad with birthdays.
Put it in your phone and have it remind you. Put a note
Listen.
on the alarm.
So it's her
on the day
fault.
of.
Well, I'm gonna do what the fella said in the comments. I'm gonna give her some apology penis.
Don't nobody want to
And I'm gonna apologize.
Yeah, all the
That's
time,
what I
man.
got. That's what I got. That's what I got.
I don't want.
That's all I
can
want
do.
to apologize
Listen,
to you.
I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn, and I'm petty.
You
So-
can't get mad at him when he planning on doing what you
Listen.
Man, and just like men don't want I'll just suck his penis. Like y'all
No, I
don't
want that.
either.
I want that.
Oh.
I want that. I think I said that last podcast. I think I said that. I want that. That I was
That's all
waiting
you
for.
want?
I thought Red was gonna ask me, how do I want her to make up to me? And that was gonna be my answer. But he's pushing around. Like, that's what I want. Yes, that's what I want.
That's
Right
all
there.
you want?
I don't care about
That's
no
all you
meal. I
want?
can make my own food. All that.
You meal prep, huh?
Yeah, my food's already done. It's in the fridge.
Yeah.
I just warm it up.
Oh my
Deanna,
God.
you there? I don't think she
Listen,
is.
these comments. What you gonna say, Reggie? Before I read these
I'm
comments,
I'm gonna say something real quick. I'm the type that I'm me personally. I would buy some flowers and do a nice gesture. Like that's the bulk of it. I might buy some flowers. I buy some flowers. I might buy gifts, something that she probably been looking for. And I, like I said, I gotta apologize. Deanna, if you there, why you got a text and not what's the name? But yeah. I think that's the bulk of it. Go ahead.
So
Tokyo,
she said the car keep kicking her out.
Tokyo said, if I'm wrong and I care, I let him touch the dingy thing in the back of my throat.
That's hilarious.
Crazy.
So wait, let me ask this question before we go on, Reggie. So T said he would be fine with getting some head. Would you want sex to make up that way?
No. Sex. I don't try to give me no sex to make up after you done something wrong. Mm-hmm. I need action. I'm gonna get sex anyway. So it's like, that's one of the questions that we ain't asked about that post, and I think I'm gonna ask that next instead. But no, I'm not going with sex. I don't want head.
It's still a sexual
I don't want head. Yeah, I don't want head. I'm gonna get head anyway. So
but you ain't gonna get no makeup head. That's different.
You gonna get makeup head. You gonna get makeup head.
It's just not. I feel the same way about this sex. Like, don't give me something because you're not putting forth no effort. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
Yummy said I bought him a car and left him a bottle of 1738. Okay.
That's dope.
Hopefully, never mind. The rest of it,
no, something. Tay said later would. Hey, just said it's a straight 8. I don't know if she was Swiss name.
You was talking about me. She was strong 8.
Oh, strong 8. Hold up. What did I say?
Oh, it's what he would want. Okay, so that's what she said. He would want to touch that dingly thing. That's what he would want. Yeah. Tokyo said.
Apology penis. Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, everybody just laughing at it. Is that what he want? How about just changing your ways? That's right, dude. Like, how about just changing your ways? But just changing your ways ain't gonna sue me at this particular.
I was about to say that Reds ain't gonna accept that.
Yeah. Just tell me I ain't gonna do it again. That like what? Really? Get the go.
I'm the same way. I need you to do something special, something outside of the ordinary.
I do.
Huh?
I said, damn, what he do? It sounds like he did something really wrong. She want a flight.
I just was saying. I'm a slightly paraphrase this post that Siobhan put up. I can't really, I didn't read it, but I did want to ask this question. A woman planned a trip for her boyfriend for his birthday. It was a very expensive trip. If y'all want to go to Siobhan's page and read it, y'all can. I think she put up, did you put up on the Dating 101 page?
I can read it. I can go to it and find it.
You go to it and find it? Because it was a real good post, and I really want to ask how people feel about it.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold the line. Okay, so here's the scenario. She says, so my boyfriend's birthday coming up. I have a trip to DR, all inclusive, costing $1,800 per person. Then I planned a surprise dinner in the sky, which is about $200 per person as well. He's upset now because I didn't give a gift. However, I felt like a free trip and an experience was better than a material object. He stated he was fine with the trip, but technically it wasn't for him. It was for the both of us, so it wasn't a gift in his eyes. I disagree and honestly feel some type of way because I felt I did good. Let me know your thoughts. Should I have thrown in some cologne or something small? Fellas?
He petty. He petty. I would have accepted that. That is the gift. To me, that's the gift right there. She paying for the flight. She paying for the dinner in the sky. I ain't never ate a plate in the sky. Come on, man. That right there. All she had to, nigga, he tripping. He tripping. Yeah, I had to smack him for it.
I'm gonna be honest. Yes, I would have been happy with that because I love trips. What's the name in the sky? But yeah, she could have threw in a pair of socks, a tie, or something like that. I mean, she could have threw. Listen, hold up. You gotta now hear from his point of view. That's not what I would have wanted. It was a good gesture, but I would have been happy with us not going on a trip and you buying me the PS5. Like, you have to know for real. You have to know your mate. Let me tell you this. Hold up real quick, T. Before, I remember dating a woman before. Matter of fact, my oldest child mother. She had a habit of buying me clothes of stuff she wants to see me in. Not my style. I think these will look nice on you. And that always irked me because she would buy me stuff like, yeah, I just feel like you need to come out your comfort zone. You got too many black jeans, so I bought you this. You got too many of this. And it's like, you buying me stuff that you like. And when you do it for my birthday or Christmas, yeah, that bothers me. Now, if you just bought it just because, it's one thing. But when you buying it for a day for me, yeah. So I get what he's saying because at this point, you don't know if that's what he wanted. Say that $3,500, buy your PS5. You know you the one.
Let me say two things. First of all, Reg, you wrong for mentioning the PS5 because you know the PS5 trumps everything. The PS5 trumps everything. So we're gonna move on from the PS5. But since you said she could have got you something, right? What if she put your airplane ticket in a card, expressing her right there? Would you have accepted that? That's a maturity gift.
Me personally, any traveling joint, I accept that. But that's me. You could be like, look, I'll buy you the PS5, or I can take you on an all-trip. Everybody know I love to travel, and I ain't paying for nothing. Oh yeah, I'm about to ball out. But I love to travel. So you have to understand the person that you're with. Now, let me ask you this, T. Honest truth. Because I'm going to ask. I want to ask you that also. As a matter of fact, would a woman be happy with just that? Do anybody believe? Go ahead.
So let me say how the scenario is first. So when I read that scenario, even though I said on the surface it seems like he was being ungrateful, but I really needed more information because if she felt like she was doing something good. So my thing was, is this something that she always does? Like, does she do things for him that she thinks he wants, but it's not really what he wants? Or is it really she was trying, genuinely to please him and she thought he would be happy with that? Now, if that's the case, then I don't like the way he responded. I really don't like the way he responded, period, because I feel like you could have still went on a trip and then afterwards be like, babe, I really appreciate it. Just, next time, would you mind doing this? But don't get upset and all in your feelings about it unless this is continual behavior, or unless you feel like she's doing it for the gram and just want to put it on TikTok so everybody can, So that's one thought. But then I have a personal experience of something like this that happened to me. Similar. It wasn't as extravagant as the trip, but for my birthday, an ex he got a car service and took me to dinner, and so we got to get dressed up and got all in the car and went to dinner. I didn't like any of it because, one, I don't really care about having a car service. You ain't have the money to do that. So that ain't impressed me. And then going to dinner to a place that I don't even like. It was food. The food was nasty. So I felt like you did that for you and not for me. So I can understand somebody doing something that's more so to make them look good. And then the other person is like, you did all that, but you didn't take the time to figure out what I would like. So I didn't get upset and be like, oh, you should have did this. But, you know, I verbalized like, that's not really my thing. So I think it's important to know your mate.
That's true.
That's why I be feeling birthday.
That's all you got. Is that right?
Your heart.
That's
If I don't remember the birthday, I ain't got to get you nothing, and I ain't got to worry about
What
it.
they saying in the comment?
Hey, Jesse. Hey,
I
Jesse.
know. That's
Wait, what Jesse?
That's
Jesse
what I
got
said. What they
something to say.
saying in the
She got
comment?
one.
That's why Tioma is single now.
She's on what?
No, I'm saying she's
That's-
doing right now.
That's the most important day.
What you say?
Y'all can't hear me?
Yeah, we
I
hear you
don't hear
now.
nobody.
I said that's why Tioma is single now. Because a birthday is the most important day, Mr. Man.
Do everybody else hear it? Because I don't
That's
hear nobody.
important. Like,
Mhm.
well, for me.
I can't
Maybe
hear it.
some
I
people
still
don't
see
care for
Deanna.
birthdays, but I know for me, you'll be one ass
No,
out man because I'm going to lock you out.
She said she's gonna lock you out. Yeah,
still
yours
see
must be
Deanna.
frozen, Reggie, because yeah, she was talking, so you just I don't know. But
I don't
Jesse,
see Reggie video.
I'm about to read these comments. Damn, I'm all the way too far up. I know somebody said leave him. What'd you say?
Definitely leave him. That was an expensive trip. Like,
that was very
that was very unappreciative. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it must be messing up. It ain't even letting me see the
So Deani said, "Yep, flights work." Josh said, "I agree. Anything from Five Below." And Jesse said,
Yeah.
"Reggie has a point. Kind
Yeah.
of learn your mate."
Big Tokyo said true.
Yeah. So
Who else? Yummy
That was
said, yeah. I don't know who she was saying that to. You know.
Deani said he don't want her. She not who he wants to be in the sky with.
Right? Who wouldn't want a trip in the sky? I mean, you know, they're not in the sky. Shoot.
mm-hmm.
Yummy said, oh, he can take his unappreciative ass out of here.
That part.
Y'all gonna have to
Look,
tell
they
me when to go.
requested me.
I can't hear. Okay. Next question. I'm gonna skip one, but I'm gonna come back to it.
To me?
Listening to a podcast, the individual was talking about guys with money, and the guy basically said that most guys
Is Reggie
lead with
on
their
here?
money because they
I don't
have
see
nothing else to offer. I
On my
disagree
end, it
with
says
it, and I'm gonna
lock
stop
screen,
first, and I'm gonna
it's
tell
a
y'all
circle
why.
spinning, a loading circle.
Hold up,
She
Jesse.
says that. Oh,
Go ahead, Rick.
Neither one of y'all can hear each other, so y'all can't tell when each
Hey,
other.
Jesse, leave the joint and then request
maybe I
again.
should leave and come back too.
All right, nah, come on, because I can hear you. Come on.
Okay.
You is the host.
We
Why
can
would
hear
you
you.
leave?
Do y'all think?
Come on.
Do y'all think
Go
that it's
ahead.
true that most men leave with money because they had nothing else to offer? Now, I'm gonna come back to it, but I'm gonna just say my piece real quick. I don't think men leave with money because they had nothing else to offer. I think men leave with money because that's what women respond to. But I'm gonna let y'all go first. T, I'm gonna let you stop.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I was going to say, I don't think they leave with money because they don't have nothing to offer. I think they leave with money because that's what they think y'all want, or that's what is perceived. You know what I'm saying? That y'all want that. So they trying to peacock. They trying to throw out there what they think going to attract y'all the most, which is they feel is the money. How you feel about that?
So I honestly agree with y'all. I think they lead with money because they know that some women are attracted to that. Now, I do think there's some lames out there that do lead with money because they don't have no personality. So, but I don't think that's the majority. I think guys that have money, you know, they may flaunt it and spend money on women because, you know, a lot of women respond to that.
Is Jessie there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she
Okay.
requested.
Okay.
Well, it's
Yeah, I feel like, you know, in individual, especially when I listen to men podcasts, and when I hear men say stuff like that, it really gets me to the point of like real haterism. Like you're when you say that guys leave with money, you really didn't think that men leave with money because they're trying to attract a woman. You know, it was a term going out there when they were saying, you know, I put that bait out there. Like that's what it was. It was basically bait. I'm baiting her in. Like, you know, guys wear fancy clothes, jewelry, and we made a statement before when we was talking about who do women dress for? Men, all of us, even men, Tioma, men, we responded to the women. We want to know how women gonna like what we have on, this, that, and the third. So I think when it comes to men, we've been taught that the more money you got, the access to the type of women you got. That's how Kevin Samuels got popular. Because he's basically like, look, if you are this type of woman, and a guy, you know, this type of bread, you know, you're not his type. He's chasing, you know, tens and better. Like that's just what he's doing because this is what we feel like women respond to. And if you listen to a show, one of the first things that all those women ask about when they ask about the type of mate they wanted, they always ask about finance first. They didn't care about his personality or nothing. They cared about how much money he was making. So, you know.
But I think Solange Mommy brought up a good point. If you have your own money, it doesn't excite a woman. Nowadays, most women have their own. Those that are attracted to it don't have it and is only looking for what you can do. And I fall into that category. I don't really care about your money. I care less because I got my own money. So it's like,
Deani said, "With the broke niggas leave with."
They leave with good personality.
Let me answer that. Let me answer that question. Yeah, I'm about to say charming, smile, good personality, lay the wood down.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dick.
Go ahead. What they saying in the comments?
Solange Mommy said, don't forget some men don't come with money and leave with it, meaning he left with it because he got it from her or he married himself into it. And Big Tokyo said, I like my own, but majority of women, that's how they think. And Solange Mommy said, one thing I can't stand is a woman that don't have anything and thinks she the shit off of what a nigga bag.
It's a lot of women.
It's a lot of women out here, yeah. That glow up, they glow up.
And they really think they doing it big based off of somebody else's money, which don't make common sense.
Yeah.
Which don't make common sense.
Yeah.
Jesse, just stay in the comments, Jesse.
Yeah.
Because it keep messing up every time. I was telling Jesse just stay in the comments because it keep messing up.
I still see Deani strolling around. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Deani said she want hers and his.
Yeah.
Of course we do, Deani. We discussed that already. We know what you want.
Right.
Yeah. She got a problem with cheddar.
Stuff like
somebody said, who's that? Salon_Monk said it's really sad. That should be a federal crime. That should be a federal crime. Yeah. It's a lot of men too, vice versa. Yeah, exactly. Like it's a lot of people, and I guess we could say, you know, men do it, but it was also a podcast. I don't really have this question now, but it was also a podcast that I forgot to listen to, but all I heard was the woman said that big women, this is exactly what she said. I remember this part. Big women kind of lead with money because that's the only way they can attract a man. And she basically like that's what she does. It was a nice little petite little pretty little young. I didn't look at the whole podcast and I saved it. But that's true. Do y'all feel like heavyset women lead with money?
I don't agree with that.
No. That is ridiculous. I was offended, and I'm not even a big woman. Like, why would you even say that? I don't agree with that. To me. That's offensive to a big woman. I don't like that.
One, low key, a lot of dudes like big women low key. On the low, they be faking it and lying. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. Number two, some big women be pretty. Like their face usually really pretty. That's why you get the neck up pics all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it's not about the money. You see them, you know you're gonna get a good meal. You're gonna be warm in the winter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't do big women like that. That's not right. They got
Yeah.
standards just like anybody else. Like
Yeah.
don't
But like I
separate
said,
them.
it
I
was a
didn't
woman.
like
She
that
basically
she said
saying
that.
big women tolerate or accept all this type of stuff because that's the only way they can get and keep a man.
No.
Which is strange because
Little
That's not
women
true at all.
tolerate stuff. Like
people.
all women,
Yeah.
don't matter what the size is, there are women, people tolerate stuff. Like I don't think she should have separated out like big, because what
She
she
basically,
trying to
hold
say
on.
about big women.
Who's that? What they say in the comments?
Solange mom said, one thing for sure and two things for certain, I'm a BBW and I got a dime in my 9 to 5, don't attract shit but mortgage and bills.
But you
I
know
know,
what's
that's
so
right.
it's funny
Right,
when
right.
I heard her say it, I'm like, I don't agree because I done met some big women who got like the highest self esteem, and sometimes I be trying to tell her, hey, you need to calm down. Like, so I'm just being honest. I done met some big women that's like a BDW where they like, oh y'all got me messed up. Like I have, yeah, because.
Exactly. Why shouldn't she have confidence? Why should her size make her not have confidence? You know. So.
Deani said a big woman stole her man.
Let me tell you this, and this
right.
is one thing I know. No matter what your size is, the way you carry yourself and dress for your size, that physical attraction from a man will come. I literally not. I remember a woman. I used to do this route some years ago. It was a lady. When I say she had a bald head, like not like a low haircut. She literally had a bald head, and I don't think she had alopecia because she still had eyebrows. She wore like long teacher dress, and she was kind of she wasn't slim, so she was kind of wide. But this lady personality and attitude was so attractive, like, and I'm like, dang, like. It's something about her energy. Like she always was happy, always smiled, always spoke. And I was like, dang. I said, she got to be a confident mother, walking around with a I don't even feel confident walking around with a bald head. And that's and that's really where the attraction comes from. Yeah.
But I think it's the key word you said, energy. It's the vibe and the energy that we give off.
Yeah, exactly. So. Confidence is definitely a big key when it comes to physical attraction. Okay, next question. Yeah. When in a relationship, how comfortable do you feel with telling your mate just about everything? Siobhan?
When in the relationship, how comfortable do I feel? That's almost like a prerequisite for me to get into a relationship. If I don't have that sense of comfort during the dating phase when I'm just getting to know you, then we probably not gonna move forward, because that's important to me, for me to just be able to tell, whatever. Now, some things I probably tell my girlfriends, but for the most part, I want to be able to feel like my mate is also my friend. So, yeah, once we get into a relationship, then I would be comfortable with whatever.
How comfortable are you with pillow talking with your mate?
It's cool.
You gotta know who you're dealing with and what triggered them and what don't trigger them. Because some people, you could love them to death and everything, but something you say gonna trigger them and what's not. So you gotta pick and choose. I don't care what nobody say about that. Always be 100% honest with me, no matter what. I'm not about to tell you something that's gonna make you punch me. You a little abusive. I'm not trying to get punched. So I'm gonna leave that alone right there. You know what I'm saying? Or at least mention it at a better time, maybe a public setting or something like that, where you won't feel comfortable punching me or whatever. No, I mean, it's cool. It's cool.
Know who you're dealing with.
Like I said,
me personally, I gotta feel. I'm with Siobhan. I gotta feel comfortable with talking to you. I gotta feel. No, there are certain things that I feel like just as a male, I feel like I only reserve for my homies. Like there are some things, not necessarily like I'm hiding it.
Right.
It's just only reserved for my friends. Where when we sitting there talking, laughing, kicking it, that's it. But for the most part, I want to be able to tell my mate just about everything. I wanna be able to be vulnerable at a certain time and not feel judged. That's something we talked about previous. We talk about all the time. I want to be able to feel vulnerable and not be judged, and not feel like if this relationship ends, it will get thrown up in my face. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never want to, like you said, T, know who you're dealing with. I want to know that no matter how we bumped heads and went our separate ways, everything that I told you in private was something that as yourself, you feel like I can't do because that's not me. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some women, like what Kevin Hart said, no pee in the bed boy, you know, he can't hold his liquor, go upstairs and turn over the mattress, he got a little wet spot in the bed. Like,
He telling all his business when she mad.
What if you're like, if I deal with somebody and they can't dress, like I'm not about to be like telling them like that shit looks terrible.
You know me,
that's fucking terrible. I'll just start like buying gifts and whatnot. Look, let me take you to the shopping street. Let's go shopping or something. I'm just saying, what are something like that? You know what I'm saying? When I say like knowing your mate and not telling them everything, I'm not talking about like as like relationship stuff all the time. It could be anything. You might not want to hurt their feelings or something like that. You know, like I just gave an example of stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, what if she just came from getting her hair done? And you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all right, but it might look good to other people and her, but it might not look good to you. Like, I'm not saying it's necessarily bad looking, but it's not your preference. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let her go ahead and rock out if it's not too bad. If it's real serious, I'm gonna be like, that shit, get that shit taken out.
But I think that's why the friendship is important, because you are able to say certain things to your friends in a way that won't offend them. So I feel like when you have that friendship in a relationship, there's a certain way you may be able to joke about something instead of being like, that shit is ugly. You know what I mean? Like, it's a way that you say it to where you're still saying how you feel, but it's still in a.
I got a question about that too.
Okay.
I got a question about that for y'all.
Audience.
And y'all in the I was just about to say audience. You know what I mean? The comments.
In the comments.
Why does the friendship status change when you become a couple? Like it changes for the worse most of the time. Like certain rules start coming into play. You can't do certain things you used to do or talk the way you used to talk, and then you got to rebuild that again. Like, why is that?
So I don't think it has to. I think it depends on the woman. I don't think it has to change, but I think it does because of the expectations that people put on a relationship. When somebody is in a friendship, it's just like, it's real relaxed, it's chill. But when you're in a relationship, people attach expectations to that, and sometimes those expectations aren't communicated. So it's like, oh, we decide we're together, but then we didn't sit down and say, okay, what does that mean? So then the woman, a switch may come on and say, oh, you my man, so this means this to me. And then she starts acting that way. So I think that's why, but I think with communication, that can be determined, beforehand. But I think that's why, because of the expectations she put on.
I think when it comes down to it, a lot of people settle in friendships and choose not to settle in relationships, which is bad, because if I make a joke that you really don't care for, but because we just having sex, hanging out, doing all that, you really just tolerate it. Like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But we get into a relationship, and then all of a sudden, that same joke, I get like, I say a similar joke, or I start joking with you in general, you start snapping at me. Because now you like, oh no, my boyfriend can't joke with me like that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, we've been doing this the whole entire time. You never really cared for it, but because you were trying to get somewhere and didn't want to run a person off, you was too scared to tell the truth. And I actually had that happen to me personally, where I joked with a woman I was dating before we even got serious. Then when we got serious and I saying them same little jokes, she screamed on me so bad. And I'm like, listen, we've been doing this. She's like, I never liked it. And I'm like, you should have told me this a long time ago. Like, I would have cut you off then. Like,
But I think that's true. People not being their true selves, you know, in that, because like you said, they're trying to get somewhere. But Solange asked a question. She said, but how is it expectations when it's just a temporary commitment? But I feel like when people hear the word commitment,
Yes.
a switch goes on. And so whatever they make commitment means, that's how they operate. So whether it's temporary or permanent, like it's still, some people attach meaning to the word boyfriend, girlfriend, we're in a relationship. They attach meaning to it, and then they start to.
It was a lot of comments in here about everything. They supposed to Tioma got me in tears. Hold on, I'm about to go down here. Some of these comments. That's when you hit her with the "you going to wear that?" I'm talking about Tioma. Yeah, that's gonna change. You know what I'm saying? That's long. Oh, okay. If your mate can't dress, isn't it something you should tell them, like, can't go out there representing me and, you know, you look a mess? Oh, you can't say it like that. You know daggone well.
You look a mess.
Yeah.
You better not say that. You better not say it like that.
But it depends on your relationship. You may be able to talk to your mate like that.
Yeah,
it just depends on the dynamic, though.
I'd rather
You said you rather not.
I'd rather
Miss
not.
Yummy said, Reggie, that's true.
Man.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's what's my Big Tokyo. I'm very sarcastic, you know. Like, yeah. A lot of that is a lot of that cause. Yeah, a lot of times when that caused a problem, because when we date, we don't know how to be our true self, because again, we're trying to get somewhere. We don't realize that if this turns into something serious, you know, the stuff that I'm tolerating now, just like women say, oh, give me the same energy when we first met and all this type of stuff. That's the same thing. Like a dude feeling like, oh, I need to be able to still joke and play like when we first met. But because everybody's trying to get somewhere, I'm trying to get to the draws, you trying to get to this commitment, we both not being who we should be at the beginning. Like, hey, look, this is me. I'm a play too much. This is why.
Why do y'all say that about you? Somebody was buying you clothes.
Hey, Red. Remember earlier when you were talking about the person was buying you clothes that she wanted you to wear?
Yeah.
And Deani said, Reds, is that why the girl was buying you clothes? She didn't.
She definitely because she felt like I dressed it too hood, like YouTube bait. Like, I'm a white t-shirt, blue jeans, tennis shoes type of dude, and she felt like that was. And I'm being 100% honest. That's what she told me. I don't like that you don't got this, and I don't like that you don't wear this, and you don't wear that. And it's like, what? Like,
She was trying to help you.
When I was younger, I used to have, no exaggeration, about 5 pairs of black jeans. I don't know why you got 5 pair of black jeans, because they literally the same jeans, but they might be a little lighter, a tad bit lighter, somewhat lighter, but that was my style. I bought black jeans. I don't know why, you know. So she did. That's literally what she said. What they said in the comments, y'all.
Jesse said, I'm goofy as hell. We have to be able to joke around. And Big Tokyo said, exactly, Jess, me too. It's in our DNA. It sounds like she need to find Bill man.
She thought she did. She thought Reds was her project.
I'm gonna ask one more comment. I'm gonna ask one more question before we get into, of course, the Dating 101 card game, the what's the name edition, you know. Yeah, okay. Last comment. This might cause some people to be in their feelings. Like make joke. Have you ever been stood up? And if you have, could the person end up coming back and making it up to you? Like, if you met somebody and they stood you up, like, hey, we're gonna take you out this weekend, and they stood you up. You got all beautified, dressed up, and they stood you up. And then let's say, you know, down the line, let's say later that year you seen them, and they was like, look, something came up. I kind of just got messed up, and I didn't know how to tell you. Would you give them another shot? T. T.
Yeah, I do it. I do it.
Have you ever
Yeah,
been
why
stood
not?
up?
What the hell? Nah.
Siobhan.
So I've never been stood up where I actually went as far as getting dressed and meeting at the place, but I have had someone say, I want to take you out or whatever, and then the week of, I didn't hear anything else from them. So I guess that's still considered stood up. Now, if he was to come back months later and ask, I probably wouldn't because I hold grudges. So it's a no for me. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to.
I'm going to be
address all the
honest.
back
I
and
have been stood up. And I seen somebody actually make it up in the comment. And the person came back and apologized. Oh, it was my fault, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't, whatever. I forgot how it happened. But I'm going to be honest. It's a bunch of grown folks on here. I did give her another shot. And and I really just kept her at arm's length. And she wanted to be serious afterwards, but I wouldn't. I'm not going to say I was being grudgeful, but I did have that being stood up in the back of my mind. I did have that. I remember that. I remember you stood me up. Like, we can be cool, but nah, we can never be serious no more. Nuh-uh. So y'all know what time it is. Hold up. Let's read the comments before we get into the car.
Yeah, because they saying, so Yanni said, yep, and Payback was a bitch. Solange said, hell no, this ain't catfish. Classy EA says, it depends on how they left or what happened because I have done it. Stuff happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it does happen.
Yeah.
It's all about how they carry it, though. Hey, Jesse said it depends, but most likely not. Yummy said, I was just stood up the other day. Dang. When I realized he was blocked within the hour.
Yeah,
okay. A block game was strong.
Big
Tokyo says no, but I was stood up when my dude ain't come home, but not in that way. Wait, what? Solange mommy says you got the one time to shoot.
Well, let me ask y'all this. Have y'all ever stood somebody up? T, Siobhan? T, go ahead. I didn't hear you say that.
Why you come back to that?
Yeah.
We ain't hear that.
I didn't feel it.
Okay, I'm gonna let that go. Siobhan, have you ever stood somebody up?
No, I ain't never stood nobody up. I'll just be like, I can't make it or something like that. But I wouldn't just stand somebody up.
Yeah, I haven't either. I can honestly say that's something that I don't recall ever standing somebody up. I literally would tell somebody that I can't make it or something, work, whatever. Yeah.
Ain't shit. I love y'all, but y'all ain't shit. Everybody got mad about somebody standing them up is talking about some, I stood them up plenty of times.
I
did.
I have,
Y'all don't want to
Classy, Cause I know you have. Yes, I have. Deani, I'm so moody and lonely. Yes, you are. So we're gonna get into the day.
So she said it's the same if I say I don't want to go. I wouldn't do it at the last minute, though. I wouldn't say.
Y'all know what time it is. Notice. It's the Dating 101 card game after dark. Y'all know we got our after dark cards. We don't feel like y'all coming to get these cards like y'all asked for. I know a lot of people was requesting we put out the Dating 101 after dark card. Go to that site. A lot of y'all should be already following the Dating 101 card page as well as the Homeboy Conversation page. Y'all need to get on them pages, man. Get them likes up. When we post these clips, we need y'all to like and share like y'all do everybody else clips. Like y'all do everybody else clips, like and share them joints too. Yeah. Okay. Well,
So hey, Jesse said I want some cards, but I don't have anybody to play with. Play it with your friends.
Yeah,
thank you, Big Tokyo. You did get yours. Play it with your friends though, Jesse. You don't gotta have a man. Just have fun. You can do them at game nights or girls' nights. I've done them at girls' nights.
You're gonna really have somebody one day, and you're gonna wish you had these cards.
Yeah. So get prepared. And y'all, me and Reggie created these cards. So these ain't something that we just marketing for another company. This is our cards that we created. So support Black businesses.
And every time you make a purchase, $2 goes to the Helper T. Alma Foundation in the future. So y'all need to know that. So, I'm just playing. Let's
Jesse
go
say
with
she
the
ain't got
car.
no friends. Not Jesse. We
She got
can't
a
agree
bunch
on
of
that, baby.
friends.
Why you ain't got no friends?
She
We don't
got
talk
a
about
bunch
that.
of friends.
She don't like
Salon,
people.
hold up. Salon
Okay.
mommy said I want some cars.
Okay.
Go to the Dating 101 car page, or and look up, and actually you can buy them off the page. Yeah.
I'm about to pin it for her.
Yeah,
Go ahead and read the
dating
question.
101 card game.
Go ahead and read the question.
Okay.
Siobhan.
All right. So here's the question. How would you feel about filming a sex video with your partner, Tioma?
Call me Denzel. I don't have no problem with that.
You said call me Denzel.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's exciting right there. You get to look in the camera at yourself work. Yeah.
Oh
Nothing
my
wrong with
God.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
Hold
so
up.
you here for it.
I'm
All
with
right,
it. I'm
Reggie.
with it. I'm wondering. Here's the thing. I'm wondering. I guess just trying to hold the camera, depending on how you're doing, because sometimes that limit. A lot of people I don't agree, but sometimes that can take away from the sex. You trying to get a good angle and trying to get it in. I'm just wondering.
Riz, this is not the 90s
I don't have
anymore.
one.
You can buy a tripod.
I don't have
You can set your camera up. You don't have to hold your camera no more, Riz.
Sometimes it be spontaneous. So if it's
Set the camera
spontaneous,
up, baby.
it's like I'm trying to hold the camera and still do what I'm doing and like trying to get the best angle, and that might take away from the sex. I'm just saying. Siobhan.
I absolutely have and will and do, and it is fun. I watch that before I watch porn. Like I like that excites me. Watching us do it, then watching some other people, some strangers do it. So I absolutely am. I'm looking forward to doing another one. Yes.
Hold up. Gianni says
Y'all are crazy.
That could be ugly.
When it's ugly, it's good. When it's ugly, it's good. That's what you and your mate to watch when y'all not around each other or together or something like that. It ain't like you presenting it to the world, so it can be ugly. You can be your natural self. You ain't trying to look pretty.
Yeah.
Classy 8 said, LOL, Denzel, King Kong ain't got nothing on you. Yeah, hold up.
And she said you have to position the camera, but they have to be locked in and won't be on some banner stuff. If it is you don't work, you need to copy the original.
I did it before, but it was on my own phone. Yeah. Deani fake was saying, I'm not doing it. Slap her with the cards. Like
she said she get into character and she don't want to see herself doing some stuff. I understand.
You gonna read one more card for him?
I get it.
Okay.
I want to see it all. Yeah. So this was actually in the news or somebody got in a crash, but I just want to know what y'all think about it. What are your thoughts about performing oral sex while you or your partner are driving? Reggie.
I'm with it, but it would have to be a late night because I'm a safe driver. Everybody, Tioma said, what'd you say? I'm a CDL driver, so I am thinking safety. Because I'm trying not to get nice, but I'm a safe driver. So if it's late in the evening, like late at night, we coming from somewhere and she's doing it where I feel like the roads are more so clear, then yeah. I don't know if you I guess we're grown people here, but I don't know if I can eat some coochie while you're driving. I think that's gonna be difficult. And how good can you drive if you're doing it good? Like yeah.
All right. That's how the people crashed when that girl was giving him. Yeah. I don't know. T, what you think?
Of course I'm with it. Y'all know that. I'm like the nastiest nigga y'all know. Like it's pretty much, it's a yes.
Hold up. What did Jess say?
She said she got head while driving. It was weird. I don't know if I would like it, honestly, while I'm trying to drive. I think that would be too much. You can touch on it, but you don't got to worry about going down there.
As long as just make sure your feet don't hit the gas.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate everybody for joining in this week. Sorry that Deani had to log out. Sorry, Jess, you couldn't get on. Maybe next week, hit us up early for you to get on. The Dating 101 card games, we got both of them. We got the Dating 101 card games and the Dating 101 After Dark. They fun games. You always got your regular crew up here. You know, the publisher, Miss Siobhan Carter, which, like I said, she's a publisher. She actually writes her own books. She actually got books. My book is going to be the first nonfiction book she actually published. So look out for that. I'm in my first fiction book. She actually only done nonfiction books. Mine's going to be the first fictional book that she actually done. Tioma, of course, the best personal trainer out there. Y'all looking to get in shape, definitely hit him up. And of course, me, the world traveler, like travel agent. Y'all looking for good trips, hit us up. And if Deani was here, you will hear that she's one of the best event planners around. So again, we thank y'all, we appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next week. Like and share, comment when we post it, everybody.
Yep, Dating 101 Card Game Solange. We're here every Monday at 9 o'clock, girl. Come on in and join us.
I love how y'all was active tonight in these comments. I love it. Y'all the best. Y'all the best. All right, y'all.
All right, bye.
Join us every Monday at 9 p.m. on IG Live for Homeboys Conversation After Dark with Dating 101 Card Game. And make sure you like, comment, and share.